When my daughter abandoned her 15-year-old son at a shelter, everyone told me to stay out of it. "You're too old," they said. "Let the system handle him." But how could I? He was my grandson, frightened, furious, and discarded like he didn't matter. I went to that shelter, signed every paper they put in front of me, and brought him home. He didn't speak much in the beginning. The pain of being unwanted ran deeper than words. But he was smart, painfully smart, and under all that anger was a boy desperate for purpose. Over the years, I watched him rebuild himself piece by piece. School, then college, then medical school. Every step forward was proof that love could mend what cruelty had broken. 17 years later, he stood in a trauma bay, calm, precise, and brilliant, saving lives for a living, until the night she arrived. My daughter, the woman who had once slammed the shelter door and never looked back. She was brought in barely conscious, covered in blood. He froze when he saw the name on the chart. His hands trembled for just a second before he tightened his jaw and asked for the surgical team to pause. 10 minutes. That's all he had to decide. To walk away or to save the life of the woman who had shattered his. From the viewing room, I saw his eyes meet mine through the glass. I didn't speak, I just nodded. The same way I had nodded when he asked if he could go to medical school, when I told him I'd be fine if he stayed away during my illness. That nod had always meant the same thing. Do what you know is right. He turned back to the table, hands steady, voice firm, every incision, every stitch, deliberate and flawless. And when it was over, she lived, because the boy she left behind had become the man who chose grace over hatred. But that wasn't the end. 3 weeks later, she showed up at my doorstep, frail and frightened, asking if her son would speak to her. He was already there, sipping tea like he'd been expecting her. She barely got a word out before he said quietly, "You owe your life to the woman you betrayed, not to me." Then he slid a folder across the table. Inside was a legal document, a contract forbidding her from ever using his name, telling his story, or seeking attention from what had happened. Her voice shook. "You're cutting me off forever?" He looked at her, calm as ever. "No, I did that 17 years ago." She signed without another word. Not all revenge burns. Sometimes it's cold, quiet, and wrapped in dignity. His victory wasn't in punishing her. It was in living a life she could never destroy again.